New Year, same us. We're in studio. We've got an in-studio guest to kick things off. Big news yesterday on these Week 18 games. Who is sitting? Who is playing? How does it impact the playoff picture? We will get into all of it. The doors are opening in the studio. We've got a lot going on. Carmen Vitali of Fox Sports is joining us. That's probably her. We'll dive deep on the huge Lions-Vikings matchup, and we'll get you set for the weekend. Also, who got snubbed with the Pro Bowl? Let's do it. I'll fix my hair right now. Welcome to Up and Adams, and Happy New Year to all. It is 2025. We have so much to get into. Playoff pictures, 2025 bringing us epic games, epic moments. We have a Super Bowl to be played in New Orleans where we had an unbelievable tragedy in the last 24 hours trying to gather information, what's going on. I just want to say I love New Orleans. I love the Saints. I've reached out to them with how we can help. I know they're doing everything that they can. Heartbroken this morning, of course. I would stay close to New Orleans Saints Pelicans social. I know Mrs. B and the whole team have lots of ways to get involved. Donations, I believe a blood drive is in the works if it's not been announced yet. So let's make sure to stay close to that, and just sending all my love to a place that is very special and near and dear to my heart in New Orleans. We are sending our love from the Up and Adams show. We've got lots to get to. We've got Carmen Vitali of Fox Sports. We've got Atta boys to dish out. 2025 is upon us. So let's get into some of these things. And let's take a look at the slate show. It's a crazy Week 18. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ravens-Browns Saturday afternoon. Baltimore, 17.5-point faves. A win locks up the NFC North. Then we get Bengals-Steelers. Cincy, a 1.5-point fave there. They need a win to stay alive into Sunday. I got my helmet back there, up somewhere. Up, they moved it to put the FanDuel helmet. We're going to fix that during the break. And on Sunday, all eyes are on Chiefs-Broncos. Andy Reid confirmed yesterday Carson Wentz gets the start. So Denver now a 10.5-point fave there. A win, and they head to the playoffs for the first time since their Super Bowl 50 win with Peyton Manning. And it sounds like there's no run at history for Saquon Barkley. Sirianni said yesterday the Eagles are resting their key starters against the Giants. Woof. It's responsible. Sure, they're locked into the 2 seed no matter what, so no need to play him. Would have liked to see that, though, especially against his old team. I guess it spares their GM. It spares, that front office having to see him run all over them. So there's good there. We're seeing good in everything. Let's go back to Broncos-Chiefs for a sec. We know how KC is going to sit, guys. We have that information. The stage is really set for Denver, isn't it? They got to find a way in. Following Andy Reid's announcement yesterday, the Broncos' odds to make the playoffs took a major jump. They're the overwhelming faves in that wild card race at -620 to get in. The Dolphins have dropped to +650. The Bengals, a major long shot now at +1500. Now, we're not going to count our playoff berth before they hatch, people. I do want to reflect, just be a little reflective on the year for a second. The fact that the Broncos are even in this position is nothing short of incredible. Not that I was a non-believer, but they had a rookie quarterback, 6th off the board in April, value pick, projected win total, let me remind you, 5.5. People were banging the under on 5.5 back in August. An 0-2 start to start the season. In September, Sean Payton, love ya. Happy belated birthday to you. The guys in the locker room, you deserve so much freaking credit. And it won't be a walk in the park against Kansas City. No, it won't. I think they get the job done on Sunday, okay? It's not like they've played badly over the last 2 weeks. They have 2 losses. That sucks. But they might just saunter on in to these playoffs. They lost a 1-possession game to a good Chargers team and to a scorching Joe Burrow team. So they've been right there. They were right there against the Chiefs in round 1 of this when Mahomes was out there. I would be surprised if they do not bounce back. I think some people just like their backs against the wall. I think that maniac coach is one of them, and I trust Bo Nix. I'd be devastated if they end up knocking out the Bengals. That would not be fun for me. Impossible not to appreciate what a playoff berth would mean for a Broncos organization that is storied, that wants to get back to greatness, that knows what it looks like, feels like, and smells like. To do it with a rookie quarterback would be absolutely bananas. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, they've locked up their playoff spot. Everybody's happy about it. Kevin Durant set to be on the show tomorrow, I believe, so stay tuned for that. DQ has made it all but clear. He's made it clear all week that they are going to play their starters after a win on Sunday in Dallas. Let's take a look at this. So Washington locks up the 6th seed. If they do get that win over them, that means they head to LA on Wild Card Weekend to face the Rams. A loss and a Packers win would drop them down to 7th and send them to Philly instead. Here's what DQ had to say about his decision to go for and not rest his guys against these boys this weekend.
Like, we stand for competing, and if there's an edge to gain and a margin to do it, like, it doesn't matter till it does, bro. And so you never know when that moment, God, if we'd only done that, if we'd only gone for it. I never want to look back and say, man, I wish I'd gone for it. Like, I hope that's my legacy one day long down the road, to say, man, that dude went for it.
No disrespect to the Rams. They have been great down the stretch, but I think we can all agree avoiding a second trip to the Link on Wild Card Weekend gives the Commanders a better chance at making a run. And I do think Dan Quinn is sort of crafting the legacy that he wants going forward. We had safety Jeremy Reeves on the show earlier this week. We talked engagement, we talked, whatever. He's been there. He was there in 2018 through now. He's been there through Snyder, through, Look what's going on here. I don't know. Technical difficulties, guys, but they didn't have any difficulty in what they've been doing as far as culture change, as far as resilience, getting out of a lull. If you listen to DC, or to Reeves on DC, I think do we have that shot? No? No, do we have Reeves on him? On Dan Quinn? No, we don't. That's okay. Reeves is on. He could not have answered quicker. Follow our socials at Up and Adam Show on Instagram and on Twitter. His answer of DQ and what his presence has meant. So there's that. Mission not accomplished. There's a team, by the way, not happy, just happy to be here. Let's take a look at, I don't know, we don't have a playoff picture. They're in, they're good. Why not Washington? Go get it. We're going to take a short break here. Carmen Vitali will save the day. She will be here after the break. We'll welcome her. We got some Atta boys. We got lots going on here in studio. Goodbye. What a show right now. What a ridiculous thing. Just show her. There she is. My next guest is absolutely stunning and living her best 2025, already covering all things for the NFC North for Fox Sports, host of Fox Sports Saturday on Fox Sports Radio with the fabulous Alex Curry. I love you two so much. And what is this I hear? You're crunching numbers on PFF with Sycamore?
I do a preview show, 2-hour preview show of every game every week. We've been doing it, me and Trevor Sycamore, so it's been fun.
My ears, there's like a bee in my ear. There's buzzing going on. I don't know what's happening, but everyone's buzzing their ear here. We're putting quite a lot on you today.
That's okay.
We got to get Carmen on the payroll because she's doing more than me. I think you got here before me too. It's like a whole thing. But Carmen, you are, let's start with this, something I know nothing about. You are an Arizona State Sun Devil.
I am. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
And you are heartbroken
Oh my God.
today? Tell me all
so
about
it's interesting.
it. Tell me all about it.
My fiance went to LSU, and LSU has obviously been good at football.
Excuse me, show
for a
the
while.
ring, please. My fiancé.
My fiancé. God, that's so gaudy.
No, I
anyway,
love it. The word fiancé is a terrible word.
It's a terrible word. I hate it. But I don't like partner either. He's not my boyfriend anymore. I don't know.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so
but
jealous.
he.
I am.
We'll find K guy.
We'll find K guy.
We'll see if he. Do you want me to see if he has friends?
Why don't you go to that big board and break down some dudes for me? Why not? Why not?
Yeah, we'll get.
Happy New Year, Carmen. Tell me how heartbroken
Thanks.
you are.
I am. I was. So he. This is his experience. ASU has not played meaningful games in like the entire time that in my adult life. So this was a very new experience for me. And I at one point turned to him during the game and I was like, "Is this what it's like? Is this what you do?" And he's like, "Yeah, this is what it's like." I'm like, "I hate this. I don't know. I did not like anything about that game." Honestly, I'm more mad that Texas survived more than I am that ASU lost.
Oh no. I'm a Kevin Durant fan, and he's Texas, and I can't. He'll hopefully be in a good
no
mood
offense
about
to
it.
KD, but
so I'm for Texas. Him and Jane Slater have me like yes, and like McConaughey and the tuna salad thing.
I can't sway you now because they're out. But it was.
Great.
I really understand the fact that like losing sucks more than winning.
I will say I love Rod Tidwell.
Yeah.
So to
that's
me,
what I'm saying. I'm a Sun Devil.
I'm a Sun Devil, baby. I got ants, Jerry. Like, I'm all into that. Okay. So the Pro Bowl rosters came out this morning. Okay. I have not quite looked. I grazed over them. I know you were in here working very early. Anything you saw snub-wise or excitement-wise that you like?
I mean, Sam Darnold, Pro Bowl quarterback. Look at that.
He is?
He is.
That's exciting.
He is. Jared Goff's the starter, but Sam Darnold, Pro Bowl quarterback. I think another guy from the NFC North that I was surprised to not see on a roster because his counterpart is Brian Branch made the Pro Bowl.
You'd love to see that.
Kirby Joseph did not. Kirby Joseph is the second highest graded safety that PFF
9
has.
interceptions as a safety?
Leading the league in interceptions with 9. And it is not a Pro Bowl safety. I believe he's an alternate, but that was kind of one of the snubs where I was like, man, some justice for Jake Herb.
I'm sorry. So Sam Darnold, Patrick Mahomes, not
on there. I mean,
not worried about.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about
because-
individual accolades with the Chiefs because I've learned long ago not to.
But he should be a Pro Bowler, even though he's never really played or been gone because he's always playing in the.
I think there's that in Indiana.
That's good. He's 15-1, and we didn't get him voted into the Pro Bowl. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, which quarterback do you take off though?
Josh Allen, Lamar, or Joe Burrow. Yeah, well, if they should all be there. I don't know. Can we just put
Those are
an
MVP
extra
candidates
spot
right there.
He's the biggest star in the game, and he's not a Pro Bowler. There's something a little wrong with the math there. Okay, you were the perfect person to have on today, as you are every day, because there are 3 NFC North teams headed to the playoffs. We kind of called that in the offseason.
Yeah, I certainly did. I don't know. I was like, it's going to take 14, 15 wins to win this division, and look where we are.
Look where we are. Let's start with the news yesterday that Jair Alexander, he had knee surgery.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
Knee. He's been out.
I know he's been.
Yeah.
But they've been okay since then. He hasn't played since week 10. Okay,
Yes.
He's going to be out to start the playoffs. They've kind of been doing it without him, but how is this going to factor into what you think they can do?
Honestly, as good of a player as Jair Alexander is, and deserving as he was of the contract a couple years ago, he has not really been available for the Green Bay Packers for the better part of the last 2 seasons. He's only played 7 games in the last 2 seasons. And he was available for the playoffs last year. He got that interception against Dallas. Didn't do a whole lot against San Francisco. So you think they've been doing it without him for quite a long time at this point. Xavier McKinney been able to kind of cover up some deficiencies in that secondary. And the other thing to keep in mind too is they've had safety Evan Williams in and out of the lineup. Javon Bullard has gotten hurt. Quay Walker, linebacker level, that he's been out. There's been other injuries besides Jair Alexander.
Can Jair play if they make it to the big game?
There's a possibility, apparently. That's according to Schefter. He said that there's a possibility that Jair could come back if, in fact, the Packers make the Super Bowl.
Lions and Vikings. They play for the 1 seed in the NFC.
I'm so glad I get to talk about this
Before
here.
we get into it, can
Okay.
we, you mentioned Sam Darnold, Pro Bowl quarterback. You like him more than everybody else.
I wouldn't say more. There's a cult, I think, within sports media that's been like a Sam Darnold truther cult for a while, and I've been part of this for a while.
I feel like you're leading the charge, though. I haven't seen.
I don't know.
You think he needs some MVP love?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's hear about that.
You look at the stats that he has. I mean, look at how he stacks up to Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Like more passing yards. His completion rate, the highest of any of those three. He had some touch or interception issues early, but he's pretty much rectified that, taking care of the football for the majority of the season. Passer rating 106.4. He just also feeds the ball to exactly who they need him to feed him to. Like, the processing power behind Sam Darnold is light years ahead of anything we've ever seen. He is so far from this see and go Sam Darnold we saw with the Jets. And he's standing in the pocket. He's standing up to pressure. He's reading the field. He's taking what the defense gives him. Like, he's like Sam Cool now. And it's it's incredible.
Why do you think he's not getting the love? If you look at those numbers, he should be. Why do you think is it because he's got a loaded offense? People are giving KOC a lot of credit?
I think it's a combination of all of those things. Kevin O'Connell absolutely deserves a ton of credit for what he's been able to do. I think he is the Coach of the Year favorite in my eyes. But then you also look at who Sam Darnold is up against when you think about Lamar Jackson and you think about Josh Allen. Both guys doing things that are making up for their team's deficiencies.
Right, Sam's on here, though, plus 15,000 odds.
He is, and I appreciate that. All the way down with Jared Goff and behind Saquon Barkley.
Could you, if you had a vote, maybe you do have a vote, I don't know.
No, I don't have a vote. I want a vote.
Oh, okay.
Can we get me a vote?
If you have a vote, if you have a vote, we're going to get you a Good American sponsorship.
Yes, do that.
We're going to get you a vote.
Every time I show up here, I'm wearing Good American. Shout out.
You slay in it all day. And I literally have to take my ear out because there's a buzzing in my ear. I'm so sorry, guys. If you had a vote, if you look at those MVP odds, let's see them again. He's what, 5th or 6th? He's behind Saquon. Would you vote for Sam Darnold above any of the guys ahead of him?
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't think I still would. I think that he's part of the conversation, but I'm still going to give that award, I believe, to Josh Allen.
I love having you in studio.
Thanks, me too.
This is fun. I haven't seen you in how long have I not seen you?
It's been a while. You're so busy.
Yeah.
We tried to get drinks like a couple times, and it was like, oh, I've got to do an overnight shoot.
We still have to get drinks to celebrate your engagement. When did that happen?
September, August. It was week 1.
That is embarrassing.
Every part of our relationship has happened around week 1.
Is that true?
It is.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah.
We love that. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more. Okay, let me see this. We did the odds. Let's talk about this game, though, because it's insane. This isn't just about Pro Bowler Sam Darnold being an MVP.
No.
I mean, he is on that level. You're showing me the comparison to the other two that are like, well, Joe Burrow should be in there too. But
he should.
And he is above him.
That's another conversation for another time.
If you guys want to go have some fun there. How do they keep up on Sunday Night Football between these two teams? The Lions have allowed 472 yards per game over the last 3. How do you think this goes?
Yeah, that's the big thing here, and it means so much because it's such a catch-22 for the Detroit Lions because yes, they're hurting, and so of course by winning this game they could get the first round bye, and you think about how much they need that, and you're like, all right, this game matters, like the stakes, how rare it is. I mean, these two teams being 14-win teams is the highest combined win total of any game in NFL history. There's so many like little superlatives that you can pull from this game as to just how rare it is, how much it means, all that kind of stuff, and I think there was a little bit of, if you're switching over to kind of what the Lions' thought process here was, I think a lot of people were like, well, that game against San Francisco this last week, that was meaningless. That did not change the stakes for the Week 18 game at all. So
it wasn't meaningless because they gave up 34 points and 475 yards to the Niners.
Well, and you're like well, should they maybe have sat their starters because it didn't mean anything?
I know, but that is a glaring, is your faith in the Lions not dwindling at all with you? Not because of anything.
No, I know.
Just the injuries. Just the injury-riddled part of it.
Going into the playoffs when you have a defense that's giving up as much as they are, but you think of, all right, Alex Anzalone, linebacker, practiced this week. That's going to be huge.
Okay.
You think you can get some guys back, especially if you get that first round bye. That's the biggest thing for this defense. But you know that this offense is so capable of scoring an incredible amount of points. And that's not always going to fly in the playoffs, especially because defense wins championships. But I do have faith in the Lions to be okay in the long run. And that's a testament to that staff. Aaron Glenn and his staff, the defensive staff, are spending almost every night in the office at this point. Ben Johnson already does that because he's just a madman and he just comes up with different things every other game, each game. And actually, we're going to talk about some of that today. There's something that when I'm watching the Lions that I think back to, and why I think about this San Francisco game like I did, and why I had no doubt they were going to play their starters. And it was very intentional beyond just Dan Campbell being like, we're tough, we're gritty, all of that kind of stuff. A head coach told me something once, and it blew my mind at the time. There are plays that they will call that have nothing to do with the team they're playing and everything to do with the team they're going to play. So I'm looking at the San Francisco game, and I'm looking for things that are interesting, that are out of the norm, that are some of these different packages, these different looks that the Lions like to throw out there sometimes. And I'm like, why would you do that when this game is meaningless? You don't need to put that stuff on tape. Or do you? Because if you're Ben Johnson, that was all for the benefit of the Minnesota Vikings and anybody else that the Detroit Lions are going to play in these playoffs. And it's all about setting them up, creating question marks, trying to get the upper hand, trying to stay 2 steps ahead of your competition. And the reason that I love, this isn't necessarily uncommon, most coordinators do this, the reason I love Ben Johnson is because he uses offensive linemen to do it. And that's very near and dear to my heart.
And you're a trench queen, as we all know. So you have lots of faith in these Lions, and you're going to show me why the offense can put up a bajillion points, even if the defense is struggling. I'd like you to teach me, Lisa.
I know. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go do something, Kay, that I've never done on this show before.
I don't think we're not prepared for you to do this stuff, but we're doing it anyway. Ben Johnson, I want to learn about him. I want to learn about Penei Sewell. There's so much going on. Take it away, Carmen Vitali.
All right, I brought a couple plays for you just to show what these guys are kind of capable of and why they're so scary. And a lot of it hinges on Penei Sewell, who I think should be an Offensive Player of the Year candidate.
Woo!
All right, we're going to freeze it right here because initially, all right, you see Penei Sewell, he's at his normal spot.
Yes.
He's at right tackle. This looks like a 22 personnel look. You've got 2 guys in the backfield, a tight end acting as a fullback. You got an extra lineman out here. That's the extra tight end on either side. San Francisco is setting their strength accordingly. And as a general rule with the Lions, if you expect them to run, find Penei Sewell, you find the ball. That's usually the rule, okay? But as is the case with Ben Johnson so often, this is not what it seems. Roll the next part of this, the pre-snap motion on this. You'll notice there's a huge gap on the other side of Taylor Decker. So you see Brock Wright fill into the left side, now attaching Sam Laporta to the formation. And then you see Penei Sewell come from the right side to go to the left. So now Penei Sewell is the left tackle. Taylor Decker is the extra lineman. Then you have Brock Wright and Sam Laporta. Clearly, that's the strength of the formation. Clearly, that's a lot of beef. You think 13, Craig Reynolds, the running back. Where's he going to go?
Right there.
Well, you think he's going to go right there.
I would think so.
All right, roll the tape. See what he does.
What is he going to do? Roll the tape. Oh.
No, he goes up the middle.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
No. So, but now, all right, Niners did a good job of sniffing that out, right? That didn't necessarily work.
Okay.
Does it matter? No, that's not what Ben Johnson's trying to do. He's just trying to get guys like Brian Flores, other teams to prepare for something else. Now,
Penei's back in the Glinda.
This is another play.
He's in the bubble.
This is a whole other play.
He's in Wicked. Got it.
It looks the exact same. They're going to do the exact same shifts and motions. Watch.
Okay.
Same thing. So now, if you see this and you're the night, look, 53.
Yes.
Goes, all right. Well, they're over there.
We're running
what do they do?
Back. Yeah.
Well, now Craig Reynolds goes to the outside, does exactly what you think he's going to do. So now you've created a question mark if you're Ben Johnson. If you see that look, you don't know what they're going to do out of it. And again, this is completely separate, but it's along the same vein of creating question marks, creating something for the Vikings to have to account for. Now, you look at this initially, you got the 5 offensive linemen like normal, right? Mm-hmm. Look at the right tackle. That's not Penei Sewell. That's Dan Skipper.
Oh.
Where's Penei Sewell?
You tell me he's all the way over there.
Penei Sewell's all the way over there. He's wide. And if you think back to other points in this season, namely against the Chicago Bears, what has Penei Sewell done when he's out wide? A bunch of different things. Now you've added another possibility because if you run that play, again, you see that Jared Goff, he hands it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, and then he fakes the reverse to Penei Sewell on the jet motion. Well, now Penei Sewell can throw a pass if he's out wide. He can catch a pass if he's out wide. Or he can run and move faster than any 300-pound man has any right to in the backfield. And so if you're a defensive coordinator going against this.
Yeah, maybe, let's bring her chair. And
We'll bring my chair back. We'll do
why
this.
don't we have a seat? Oh, thanks. Stephen, look, you don't have to.
I got it. We got it. We're here.
Going on. So what are you saying?
So,
if you I mean, they can put up 40 is what you're saying any day of the week. Because
they stay
the
2
question
steps
marks
ahead.
they're
They
creating.
stay 2 steps ahead of a defense, and they make defenses account for so much. They make defenses prepare for so much. Whether or not you see that look against the Vikings is irrelevant, because that's already put Brian Flores in hell trying to figure out what to do.
They're still doing that without Montgomery. They're still
doing all of that because they have faith in, and they've really versatile personnel. They can do so many different things with so many different personnel packages, and that's part of it. And it's interesting too, because you look at defenses usually kind of have the upper hand when it comes to the offensive line in particular, given that it's you know who's going to be where every single play. Offensive linemen usually don't move, but when you have a guy like Penei Sewell,
what did you
can
say
break
he
all
should
those
be?
rules.
He should be the what?
Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive freaking Player of the Year, Trench Queen herself, Carmen Vitali, saying that. What do you guys think? I'd love to know the odds on that at FanDuel Sportsbook. The Lions are averaging 33.3 points a game this year.
Yes.
That is more than the greatest show on turf. It's more than the 99 Rams, guys.
They do just insane things. Again, they weaponize that creativity better than anybody at this point.
What's going on with Hutch? Is he coming back?
He's going to try.
What does that mean?
I mean, I'm not going to put anything past him. He was in the pool running like a couple weeks ago.
It's so funny. I keep going back to guys, but he was in a pool. He was running underwater in a pool.
Right.
Like,
and I'm
don't you understand what that means? It could be bad.
Like things like gravity.
I don't know. I don't know if he can. I would put it past him, but is it like I don't even know?
I mean, he's working really, really hard.
Is this a way to win a Super Bowl though? If they can be I'm seeing this right now. They can move into top 10 all time in scoring in a single season. Is that good?
I mean, it is.
Do we want that? Is that what's?
It is, but anything can happen in the playoffs. The playoffs are a completely different season, but that's why you see. And again, this isn't necessarily uncommon that teams will try and set up.
They've got to go. It'd be so fun.
I picked them as my Super Bowl favorite. I have them in the Chiefs.
Now.
I did that before the season, and I still do it now.
I believe it.
I'm gonna stand on it because yeah. Why not?
NFC's super fun. They
are.
I feel
like I didn't talk enough about how much I love the Vikings too. I love both of these teams just incredibly much.
Are you just not into the Packers? You just don't?
No,
think
no. Okay,
well,
so
clearly you don't love them.
No, they get left out. But like, I also think, I mean, they're getting hot at the right time, and I really do think that they're going to make some noise in the playoffs.
How will rank these teams for me? This is your mother of the NFC North.
Everybody's asked me to do that all season long, and I'm like, I don't know.
Best chance right now going into a Vikings-Lions Week 18 bout.
I still think it's the Lions. Okay. And then that followed it's like 1A Lions, 1B Vikings, and then 2, but like a high 2 Packers.
But the Vikings are well-rounded. Yeah. They've got stars.
Yes.
So why?
And they have an incredibly creative play caller.
Lions have a lot of adversity. What is your argument for Lions over Vikings?
That fuels them. The Vikings.
The mentality is what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they've been there. They have this chip on their shoulder from being one half away from the Super Bowl last year. It's just everybody is so bought into the Lions, but that's also the case for the Vikings.
I know. So I'm trying to understand where's your 1B, 1A coming from. Desire, you want it to be
I guess
them?
Maybe it's probably a little bit of a bias, but I've also talked so much even before this season. I talked about how the Vikings were not going to be a bad team. They were going to be a 7, 8, 9 win team, and I mean I didn't foresee 14 wins, but with Kevin O'Connell as the play caller, with all of that offensive talent, I talked about a lot how Sam Darnold only needed to be a serviceable quarterback to make this work. And then you have this defense that's incredibly aggressive, incredibly complex. It's ever-changing. Brian Flores bends the laws of physics with his players, and they just operate in different ways that you don't expect these players to operate from the positions that they're in. It's so much fun to watch, and you have 2 head coaches in Minnesota that are just dealing with their respective sides of the ball and almost better than anybody.
You don't just cover the NFC. So I do want to ask you, and I have a really tough question. I think one of my biggest surprises of the year, I came out and you were talking about how what you asked in August and how it came true and all that. I said that the Texans were going to have the best defense in the AFC. I said they're going to be even better. And there's obviously a lot of expectation with Stroud and all of that. So before we move away from the O-line talk, I would love to get your thoughts on how they can protect C.J. Stroud better, what's going on, and why does it look so off-kilter?
Yeah, I mean, it does. And that's been something that clearly has affected C.J. Stroud tremendously because everything does start up front. I think the best teams in the league understand that you have to be solid up front before anything else happens. Yeah. And when you're C.J. Stroud, and you were protected really well last year, and you kind of defied expectations, you surpassed expectations last year. That sets a new standard then in Houston, naturally. And I mean, they did still win the division, and they're still going to the playoffs, but I think we have less faith in them this year.
I have less faith in them
than we did last year, despite the fact that they had just eked in. And a lot of it has to do with, the offensive line play. Just, I don't think they invested enough in the very beginning of the year, and I don't think, and it just hasn't materialized.
52 sacks.
And they haven't had the run support for C.J. Stroud at back. You know, the run game just hasn't necessarily been there. Joe Mixon been out, in and out of the lineup there, and then you lose Nico Collins at one point.
Most sacks in the NFL. Caleb probably.
Caleb has the most sacks.
Don't laugh. I'm not. The Bears better not be in here.
Yeah. So we're not talking about the Chicago
You know how freeing
Bears.
it is to pull my ear out and not have to listen to, not be beholden to anything. I'm sure we have to take a break at some point. It's 30 after.
I guess they can say it in my ear. And
We might do this. No, I do want to talk about the Bucs, but let's do that on the other side of this break, shall we? Let's give you a minute to relax. We'll get a masseuse in here and pour Carm here an IV drip to get her ready for the next time.
I'm throwing up like my dude Cam Scattaboo.
I'm not even kidding. I'm just sitting here like in awe as always. We will take a quick break with Carmen Vitali from Fox Sports. Yeah, I want to ask about the Bucs. Obviously, you covered them for so long, and then we'll have some fun. Let's do a little retrospective of the year that was. Everything's
Is it better?
It's good to see you.
Good. Me too.
Do you have like wedding-y things figured out?
No, but we are doing a destination wedding, so we're going to Italy after the Super Bowl.
Destination wedding?
We're going to Italy after the Super Bowl to pick the venue, and yeah, I have family there. That's the reasoning for.
Where's family?
So they're 2 hours outside Rome, and basically we have to decide if it's too hard to get everybody there to that town, or if we just pick a venue in Rome. We're gonna
venue in Rome?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, my parents are just so.
So you're doing it but the wedding wouldn't be in.
No, the wedding will be in the off season. It'll be in
summer?
May of 26. May of 26. So we're both in football. So like I said, everything has happened.
Let me see this freaking
Week 1.
sparkler.
We met week 1.
So beautiful, Carmen.
It's gorgeous.
He did good.
He did really good.
He did great. I like the dainty band.
I do too. And then I could do something fun with the wedding band.
Did he not ask anyone?
No. So my cousin was supposed to kind of tell him something.
Absolutely terrifying.
No, I know. But I wanted him to be part of it.
Part of it, sure, but you didn't give him any.
Well, I told him I wanted an emerald. That's what I wanted, because my mom has an emerald. I've always liked emeralds, and so I was like, I want an emerald. And then he asked my cousin, thinking that she had more details, and she didn't. And he was like, "That's it. That's all you."
Did you know it was coming?
No. I mean, I kind of had an idea again because everything's happened week 1.
Yeah, I had no idea that I wasn't ready for it until I saw. I think I was the last person to see it too. You're like,
yeah.
No, I've been engaged for 3 weeks. I'm like, what? I was so excited for you.
It's okay. It was a hard launch.
2026.
That was the hard launch. The engagement was the hard launch.
Yes, that was an emerald shaped launch.
We've been dating for a while, guys.
Rock hard, yeah. Love that. Love that. Okay, we're gonna come back and do little Bucs.
Okay.
Oh shoot.
Wow.
Wow, here we go. Carmen Vitali of Fox Sports have spent. I met you with the Bucs.
You did meet me with the Bucs. We've known each other for a mean.
Yeah, you. What a fun time! Like in your memoir someday, you'll get to say that you were there pre-Tom, with Tom, post-Tom for a little bit, and then you went national and you got big time for everybody, which we love. But you spent 6 years there?
6 years.
Amazing.
6 years with them.
They're likely to go to the playoffs.
They are.
Which they don't get enough credit for. Everyone's like, consistency is a thing. 5th straight year if they make the playoffs, okay? Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks changing, all this stuff. What do you credit the consistency to? Who gets the love for that?
I mean, there's so many, right? Like Todd Bowles, I think has not gotten enough credit for transitioning this team from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield because he's a defensive guy. But this defense has been a rock for most of his tenure. But outside of Todd, why aren't we talking about Jason Light for GM of the Year?
Love him.
Literally ever. I think that everybody thinks that, all right, well, he landed Tom Brady and that changed the course of the organization, which it did.
Yeah.
But if you look at the way that this team drafts and how they acquire young talent, the Bucs are, yes, they still have some of the old guard left, but they have supplemented that with so many good players, young players, guys that they have drafted. I mean, this last game, you had Devin Culp, your 7th-round pick out of Washington, make some extremely good plays and crucial plays for you in this game before you got up big. And you had Jalen McMillan had a couple touchdowns. He was a 3rd-round draft pick, I believe. There's Bucky Irving, Hive, stand up. All of this does not happen without Jason Light and Mike Greenberg, by the way, and Jackie Davidson. These are people that are completely unsung in this organization that have everything to do with figuring out the contracts, with drafting these wonderful players. You look at the offensive line, that's been completely rebuilt through the draft.
I have a question for you. Do you think that Tom Brady what was his lasting effect? Do we not give, was it like a window, one and done, gone? Or do you think?
No, he changed that organization forever.
Tell me about that.
So
how are they seeing that now?
The biggest thing I saw, because I was there before Tom got there, right? Knew the guys, was in that locker room all the time. They had the talent. Like, they were one of the rare teams that really was one quarterback away from what they ended up accomplishing, which was a Super Bowl. And what Tom Brady when he got there, and he chose to go to Tampa, that sentiment was not lost on the entire roster, on the entire organization. Tom Brady chose to go to Tampa. And so it made everybody carry themselves in a different way and expect more from themselves. And it wasn't like, oh, if the Bucs could just get out of their own, blah, blah, blah. It was, we believe in ourselves because the greatest football player of perhaps all time believes in us. And so it set a standard there, and it overhauled so many different things that you'll never hear about, between the resources that were available, the kitchen, the menu that was on there, the way that guys were covered, the strength staff, all that kind of stuff. There were people brought into the organization based on what Tom said he needed.
Lasting effect.
And that has continued. And so he changed so much about that org. Now, not single-handedly, and everybody played ball, and the Glazers played ball, and all that other stuff.
Even like a LaShawn McCoy, who wasn't there always, but he's been on great teams around, Hall of Fame players, like him, talk about the lasting effect that Tom Brady even had on him.
Yeah. He makes you expect more or want more for yourself. Expect more of yourself. It was an incredible experience to get to walk down the hall and just see Tom and be like, hey, Tom.
I know. He's the best. Okay, the season isn't quite over yet. We are 17/18ths of the way there, and we want to take advantage of Carmen being here, so we thought we'd give out some off-kilter season superlatives. Okay, let's take a trip down memory lane. 2024, very good to you.
Oh, yeah, it's been great. It's been a great year.
I hope 2025's my year. Our first category is Best Touchdown Celebration. Is it Joe Burrow's gritty?
That was so good, but it's tainted by the fact that he shouldn't have gone and he shouldn't have scored right then. It would have made things a lot easier on the Bengals in that game anyway.
They're still there, and they're going to... Okay, then this is Jameer Gibb. This is his pole dance. That's what we're calling it. Is that what it was?
Are we allowed to do that?
Is that what that was?
I don't think I...
And then there's the Parent Trap. But not just the Parent Trap. Then you got the Camp Rock.
Right.
High School Musical, all the cultural references we can remember. Who do you think had the best celebration?
It has to be the Vikings. It's Cam Bynum. It's Josh Metellus.
Which one, though?
I loved The Parent Trap because that's one of my favorite movies. I like outside of that, and I saw it instantaneously.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, was that The Parent Trap? And sure enough, my fiance was sitting next to me, and he was just like, what? And
that's
I'm like,
the White Chicks one, right?
Yeah, I think the one where they did the little flip. That's
I've
White
never
Chicks.
seen that movie. What's one that they need to do? Is there like a Bring It On moment? Is there?
I would love to. Honestly, I would love to see Bring It On. And then I'm trying to think of any other, because some of the ones they've done lately, I'm like, I don't know, Camp Rock, I don't know.
No, I think it's like a great litmus test for like your age.
Yeah, your age.
Like if you don't know what Camp Rock is,
I'm
you're like,
too old.
I had no idea.
No.
I still don't know what it is, Camp Rock.
I don't either. It was on Disney Channel, I think.
Nope.
Was it? I don't even know. See, I don't know. And then they did High School Musical. I know that was on Disney Channel.
I like the story behind Joe's Gritty because it wasn't planned.
Right.
I like when things are more impromptu.
Impromptu.
But I do love a combine them. Love that. Never stop.
I would have picked that a little bit more had Joe Burrow not. He should have waited to score.
You care about that. Not what I care about at all. Let's look at the nominees for Best Arrival Outfit. Okay, I haven't seen these.
Ooh.
Oh, I remember this. This was the Peaky Blinders sort of fits in London. These are the Bears. Maybe we got to give the Bears some love.
We could for this. Like, they were all very, very well dressed. They committed to the bit and they understood the assignment in London. I appreciated that. I know, with a little cap.
This should have been. At some point, Rome. You'll have a wedding in Rome, and Rome will have his year as well. Our second nominee.
All roads lead to Rome, right?
Mac Hollins. Oh, this was a lot, though.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
We're doing the most here. Dressed as a bear.
As a buffalo? Yeah. Is that a buffalo? Yeah.
A buffalo?
It looks like It looks like that top is.
It says
that top
bear
is.
and prompter.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the horns.
Or we're going back to Joe Shiesty for a '90s inspired. Oh no, this is not it.
I was like, it looks like those, those things that you played with when you were a kid. It was like the chalkboard, but it had like the different colors, like the different color chalk.
I never had one of those. I would make one. I would out of crayon make them, and then you cover it with black crayon, and then you scratch it off.
Yeah. I remember doing that in school too.
Yeah. So which one are you picking here?
I'm going Bears.
Bears?
Yeah, I like the Peaky Blinders.
And you know what I liked about it a lot? I spoke to, I forget who I talked to.
Coordination.
But they didn't coordinate.
Really? They just decided, all right. Then
they all did it individually and
then,
came
of course,
together. And you would have thought that would have added to more wins, but it didn't. Our next category is, best Jameis Winston moment.
Okay, so when I first knew that this was going to be a category, I was like, oh my God. Like, I was with him, in Tampa for so long. I'm like, I thought it was just open-ended.
Crazy yards and crazy interceptions.
I thought it was open-ended, and I was like, my favorite Jameis Winston moment? What are we doing here? Like, I don't even know how I would pick.
Of the year.
This year.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
What is it? What do you pick?
All right. Well, I think you can probably relate to this. I grew up with heavily Catholic parents, and so the deliverance from pick six.
Let's hear it. Let's hear that.
I know I'm better than this. I know. I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes.
That was the line of the year. That wasn't just the best Jameis moment. That was a full
That was
full on.
As someone who, like I said, grew up Catholic, I appreciate Catholic humor and just all over the.
Do you think he knew he was going to say that? Like, did he know? Does that knowing him?
No, knowing him, knowing him, he did not plan any of that. The amount of things that it just comes out of his mouth.
The other options would have been him before the snow game, like looking into the.
Yeah.
That was a pretty moment, but no, nothing was as good as that. Him talking to the fish, I thought was a good moment too. Back in the off season, that was 2024, I think. Okay, let's give Mascot some love here, Carmen, and see what our favorite Mascot moment this season was. You pick. How about big board fight between Will Levis and Jackson DeVille? I did not see this. Okay.
I mean, that's so perfectly Florida. Like, what are we doing? That's so perfectly Jacksonville.
We're the fans. Our Swoop the Eagles mascot, dressed as Elf, giving out presents.
Yeah, that was cute.
Now I love Swoop. Swoop and I had a little fling.
You did.
Yeah,
you
Swoop,
did.
It's actually been almost 2 years now, on and off.
Wow.
Swoop and I.
Fond memories.
Yeah, fond memories. Our last nominee is this Vikings mascot versus kids football game in Week 9.
Yeah, I've seen this in person. They do this quite a bit.
Wait, but that's not the Vikings mascot.
No, they bring in other mascots from all. So Victor's in there, and there he is.
Oh.
And then he
Blue. That's blue.
That's blue, and then you have some college mascots in there. I've seen this live, and it is the Minnesota Golden Gopher. It's incredible. Like, these guys just they're wrecking these kids.
What are the waiver forms that are involved in
They're
this?
absolutely wrecking.
I can't even imagine.
And the kids go after him. It's the best thing.
And who do you pick as the best? This is the best?
That's the best.
This is the
by
winner.
far.
I've
It's
never
so much
seen
fun.
This, and that's why we have you here.
It's so much fun.
What has been your favorite post-game moment this season? Ooh.
Oh, God. There's a lot, but one that took me off guard recently was Xavier Liet. He brought around raccoon for reporters to eat.
What?
Let's take a listen.
Try to. Yeah. That's not bad, ain't it? That's it.
It ain't bad. It's not bad.
No, of course. No, I wasn't there. Have you tried raccoon? No, all right, fair. I haven't either.
Girl.
I think that's not.
I haven't eaten a hot dog.
I did see a really cute raccoon fur coat from Lucchese the other day.
Oh, God, stop. I saw raccoons. I was just in Tamarindo, and I saw 3 raccoons, and they were the scariest things. I think this happened, I imagine, because he went on Amon-Ra, the Amon-Ra, the
St. Brown podcast.
Yeah. And they were talking about how he eats raccoon, right?
I mean, yeah, and then, like, this is the Carolinas. I feel like that's probably something that people, I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have tried it.
That was, I mean, if you're a reporter, or if you're in that locker room, would you try it?
No.
Would you feel compelled to? I would probably, actually, I don't know.
I don't know. I can absolutely be
he's got
peer pressured. So
he's got like aura. I feel like he could make you do it. I feel like he's got what it would take to make me try that.
I'm trying to think, like, have the guys gotten me to do anything weird? I don't think so. No.
Yeah, hopefully they're not like running around having you try different animals, fried or whatever the heck. Okay, last but not least, we have a few moments from the college football bowl season that I know nothing about, so I'm glad you're here. These are just best moments from that. This is Eastern Carolina, Coach Blake.
Yes.
Sure.
Being
surprised by bowling pins. What? Let me see that again. Can I say that one more time?
Just little mini bowling pins.
Oh, I thought they were real bowling pins. Glad that's not the case.
Yeah, no, that would hurt a lot.
And then we have our second nominee is this entrance. Oh, I love the Pop-Tart.
I was going to say, you know the Pop-Tart Bowl.
We talked about the Pop-Tart Bowl thing.
About the Pop-Tart Bowl.
I was so hungover when we had that conversation last night. I was sitting on the floor of a hotel room. I remember it. Never want to talk about the Pop-Tart Bowl again. Is this new?
Okay. Yeah, so this was this year, and they had 3 different...
A striptease?
They had 3 different guys that you could, that possibly, or 3 different Pop-Tarts that were going to be sacrificed at the end of the game. And so this is their entrance. And they're like, it was... I laughed. I cackled, Kay, when I saw this. I was cackling. I could not stop.
Nice legs.
Yeah, I know.
Nice legs for these Pop-Tarts, but they're.
I think S'more was the one that was like moving his arms up and down. And it was
Is it true that there are Pop-Tarts that do not have icing on them?
Yes. There are unfrosted Pop-Tarts.
We don't need to live in that world.
No.
I'd rather eat the raccoon than an unfrosted
Pop. You know what? I think I'm with you on that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then our last nominee, as much as I love seeing this 90 times, what's this?
A couple got married at the Cheez-It Bowl by a Cheez-It.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Hold on.
I know. They were like on a thing, and
I can F up a Cheez-It. I would take
oh
a
my
bite
God,
out of that
Cheez-Its.
Mascot. Let me tell you.
Food.
Ted Z.
Yeah.
They got married.
They got married. I mean, I'm happy for them as a couple,
happy
but
for them. Would you get married at a bowl game?
I would I was very upfront about my do not propose to me in public.
But happy
do not
Jeremy
propose to me on a
Reason,
jumbotron.
who was so happy. I would die if you got proposed.
I would say no.
Would you say no?
Yes, I told him that.
What about it would say, even though this is the love of your life? What about
Because then I would know that he doesn't actually know me.
If Kevin Costner proposed to me, by the way, I'm over Kevin Costner. Newsflash. Over him, out on him.
I haven't seen the rest of Yellowstone.
Out on him right now.
All right.
But if he were to propose to me at anything like that, I think I also would say no.
You would say no.
Wild. Anywhere, yeah, absolutely.
Anywhere else, fine. But I don't trust my reaction first of all, and then you don't really know me then if you're proposing to me on a jumbotron.
But some people, I mean, so obviously she wanted to.
Well, yes, she wanted to, and that's your prerogative.
Which is fine, it's your prerogative.
Right,
but you gotta check,
I guess.
I want to be I would want to be nowhere where you can smell popcorn. It should be nowhere where popcorn or nachos are a thing. Just not.
Ooh, the smell of that
just
fake
not
cheese.
Interested. Anyway, so wait, who won that one? Who did you think was the best?
Pop-Tarts. I love the Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. I mean, who knew? Pop-Tarts came back.
The trophy
with
was a working toaster.
It just shows you what marketing can do. It just shows you what marketing can do for your product. We'll be back. We've got Atta boys after this. Yeah, okay. He's having the time of his life. Welcome to 2020.
Can I be a Pop-Tart mascot?
Can you believe it's 2020?
No. I'm turning 36 tomorrow.
Ah, your birthday! That's so exciting. What are you going to do?
Go to dinner, I guess. I'm not a birthday person.
Where? I'm not a New Year's person. Let me tell you who was in bed at 7:30 on New Year's. This girl.
We went to dinner.
For the past 3 years.
I know. That's what we've been doing.
I have some New Year's thing where I like to be alone on New Year's and just go to bed. I don't know why that is.
I've done that though multiple times too.
I've never been into New Year's. I used to work New Year's a lot. On it.
Yeah. There's college football on and there's that's just not my. I'm not thinking about New Year's and it's always so difficult to do everything.
I think that Hamilton High. You can go and pop in here and say hi to Carmen. Ham?
You have something to tell me?
No, I don't think anyone knows less about college football than me. Hamilton, do you know?
He has to know, right?
Where's
Hamilton? Hamilton was going back, was in the group chat between me and Tiara, going back and forth about ASU because we both
I know
went there.
nobody included me in anything, and then this morning I'm like, what are we doing?
Hamilton, you got the benefit of that.
Oh, that was a tough group chat. I felt for you guys. Even when things were going well, the anxiety and the stress of that
Things were
game.
never going well, Hamilton. Let's be quite clear on that. My heart has been broken by this team way too many times for things to have actually been going well.
I mean, making a 2-touchdown comeback,
Okay. Can we like not talk about things I have no idea about?
I'm sorry.
Like beyond.
All right, we'll talk more about Kevin Costner.
I'm out on him.
Why are you out on him?
Yeah.
Because everybody wants him now. So I had this thing, I told Hamilton, like, I think I'm in love with Kevin Costner. This is like a long time ago. And then I knew it was going to happen, but I knew it was going to happen. He was not going to be in Yellowstone. So women were going to miss him and create this space of like, they can't see him anymore, they whatever. So he created this like market for himself, right? And then now you got J-Lo wanting him, Kristen Cavallari's wanting him. Everybody wants him right now. And he's also doing like pap walks.
Yeah.
He's like all over Dumois. I'm like, what is this? So now that everyone wants him,
are you just kind of like a
now
hipster?
You're out.
You just like you don't want what other people have.
I don't know if that's a hipster. It's just like I'm over it.
Yeah.
I liked him when nobody was paying attention to him, and now he's
so
going to be
you're
in
a
like
hipster.
4 relationships with. My 2025 prediction: public relationship. He should end up with Sandra Bullock. That's why I'd put him.
I love her.
And then he'll be in some rom-com.
Yeah.
And then he'll take that.
He
Goodwill, and he'll make
worked on
another
like
Western movie.
I was gonna say he was doing that like Western.
Sure, but now I feel like he needs the PR and all the. There's just too much going on. But Kevin, he's a Saints fan.
She's not actually over him.
We're back.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
She is.
Totally kidding. Time to give out some Atta boys to players who deserve a little bit extra love for their week 17 performances. 1 week to go. I'm just going to cry. I don't want the season to end, but here we go. We're going to start with T. Higgins. Do you like him?
I love T. Higgins.
Of course you do. He had 131 yards, 11 catches, not 1, 2, but 3 touchdowns on Saturday night, including the overtime game winner. Atta boy! The last one also gave T double-digit touchdowns for the first time in his career. His mom's happy. I'm happy. The defense needs some fixing, but nice to know they have him to do some things. You want to take Jamar out of the game? Good luck. T is going to score.
Yeah. And that's like you have to keep him. You have to find a way to keep him if you're the Bengals. Get your money up. That was one of the resolutions that we had on the NFL on Fox podcast was the Bengals have to get their money up.
I love that podcast. Good chemistry on that podcast.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
Next up, let's talk about Malik Neighbors and what he did to keep the Bengals alive, okay? What's going on? Okay, yeah. He had 2 touchdowns and then takedown at the Colts.
Yeah.
171 yards. More than any other receiver in Week 17. Unstoppable. Yeah, it was nice to get the Giants some love. I mean, what he's done with the revolving door of quarterbacks.
Incredible.
He's super impressive. I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
I know. I mean, he's an LSU boy. So that's near and dear to our hearts now, the household that I live in now.
Did you not learn to not talk about college ball in front of me?
I'm sorry. Regardless, he has done incredible things with not a great supporting cast, which I think just compounds how incredible he is and how good he's going to be going forward. Silver lining
He's
for the
also
Giants
handled his stuff pretty well. I mean, I know he's had a couple little sound bites, but he could have just nuked everything week in, week out of frustration, and he did not do that. Okay, and finally, this has got to be my favorite interview of 2024. My favorite guy is J.K. Dobbins. Yeah. He missed the last month with a knee injury. He was back. He had 83 total yards and a score. Chargers blew out the Patriots. Atta freaking boy. Chargers offense, it's really not what it is without him. He's got to be in there. He's super important. They put up 40 for the first time all year when he was back in the lineup. He's 17 yards away from cracking 1,000 total for the first time in his career. 1 touchdown shy of double digits. It has been awesome watching him, and I will say, Comeback Player of the Year odds. Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
He's getting the 3rd best odds on FanDuel Sportsbook at plus 1,700 behind Joe Burrow and Sam Darnold, and he definitely deserves it. People thought he wasn't going to be able to play anymore, and he's crushing it.
Yeah, he is. And honestly, before the season started, he was one of the breakout guys that I wanted to see this year. I thought that he was going to have a breakout year, and it worked out.
They're telling me in my ear, Hamilton, they're telling me that we want to talk more Kevin Costner. Is that what the control room said?
That's not what the control room said.
What did they say?
It's something that Kay does not want to talk about.
Anyone is saying that.
More college football? My stomach is growling. I'm having a weird day. Hamilton, what should we talk about? Not the Bears. Get out of here. What do you want to talk about? Bears have Packers. Oh, that'll be a fun one, though.
I was able to dig up an answer to your question from our last show, by the way, finally, about Patrick Mahomes. Remember we said it's either going to be 23 or 24 days between games for him?
No, I don't remember.
It would be.
Go on.
And you asked me to find out what the next longest one was?
Don't remember. That was last year.
It was our boy Warren Moon in 1993. Had a 22-day layoff. So there you go.
That's a fun little stat. Although I just don't think it matters. I think it just gives Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid more ammo. Like they already reworked the playbook for the postseason, and now they're just going to have that much more time to figure it out.
So you have them and the Lions.
Yeah, I have them and the Lions.
That would be a fun little...
I have the Chiefs winning.
Really?
I'm not like...
You can't not. Yeah.
I can't not. I'm not going to pretend like last year didn't happen, where they had a down year and nobody for Patrick Mahomes to throw to, and they still win the Super Bowl. I cannot, in good faith, ever bet against them.
Three-peating is crazy, Matthew, and him not being a Pro Bowler, if they're just going to waltz to the Super Bowl and win it, is also crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at the offense right now, the way having Hollywood Brown back in there, they just look different right now.
They do.
And Joe Tooney kicking out to tackle.
Yeah. They're not using Worthy the way we thought they'd use him, but they found a way.
Was there any doubt with Andy Reid? I just no. Talk about a guy who spends time in the...
I remember on Christmas, I was like, oh, well, you know what? They don't have Chris Jones today. And I'm going to make that a really big deal. And it just doesn't freaking matter.
It doesn't matter.
24, 25 days, it doesn't matter.
Their highest sack total of the season without him.
Did you know Andy Reid has not won Coach of the Year as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs?
No.
That's wild to me. But and he's not going to this year either. But it's just the Chiefs are victims of their own success.
You're just playing favorites. Look at you, Carmen favorites.
I made this pick before the season started, so there.
I don't make picks because I'm a loser.
I don't like making them. I'm just used to it, and I hate it.
I mean, I think I picked the Packers and the Eagles. I've picked both of them, so either way, I'm a winner. That's how I feel.
Well, you've got the Packers in the Eagles in the playoffs.
You got a chance.
There you go.
Nobody wants to face the Bengals, is all I'll say. All right, Hammy, appreciate you. Carmen, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Listen to her on Fox Football Saturday with Alex Curry. On Fox Sports Radio, you're previewing Sunday's games on PFF. Shout out to Trevor. You're goated. Thank you.